You can't have clips like this out and then turn around and date a single mom and just be regular like, yeah, fuck single moms. What the fuck, bro? You're saying you're just shitting on single moms. You're probably in your 30s and it's okay and nobody gives a fuck. But you're talking like these women are the scum and then she just like, come on, bro. Like, you regular.
You know what I'm saying? Drop a like, leave a comment, let me know you're in here. We finna have fun tonight.
What in, y'all? It's Logic's back with another one. Today we're going to talk about another red pillar getting called out, doing the same shit that they all do. Again! Living a life that goes against everything that they preach. Now, I'm not too familiar with this guy Cooley from No Fugazi podcast. I've heard of that podcast in the past, just never got into him because that's just not content I care to consume. But here we are, another one bites the dust where they preach about, you know, not dating 304s and all that shit and not dating single mothers. Lo and behold, we're dating a single mother. And not only does she have one kid, I believe she has two. We're gonna get into this Abba and Preach coverage of it. And then after that, we're gonna go into the response that he made to Abba and Preach and O'Shea Duke Jackson. Before we get into the video, man, make sure you leave a like, comment, sub. If not one, then all three. But let's get into it. Let me know how y'all feel about the new layout of the videos and going forward, the streams. You know, do y'all prefer this or do y'all prefer, you know, how I had it before with it taking up a majority of the screen? I just love my graffiti, so I always want my graffiti in the background. I'm obsessed with graffiti, y'all. So, yeah, just let me know in the comments.
There's an update to the previous story that we were on. Preach shared this with me.
Fellas, this is why I tell y'all got to be careful about where y'all get y'all relationship / life advice from these guys on this internet, on these podcasts. Because yesterday I made a video about that Fugazi Cooley dude or whatever, talking about being a top tier man. I always kind of knew dude was...
Yeah, so I saw that clip, though. I didn't know who he was in connection to the podcast and his career and stuff, but I definitely saw that clip where it was like, they were talking about the guy that was like, I'm 6'4", I make over 100K a year, and I'm black, so I'm a high quality man. And it was like, nigga, what? When I saw that, I was like, this is one of the goofiest things I've ever heard, bro. You think just because you tall, black, and make money, you're a high quality man? And that's the problem with these podcasts. This whole high value man, red pill men versus women shit is nearing its end. In 2025, I hope we're done with it, bro, because that niche is just dead at this point.
Was a little buddy, but yeah, so here's the clip.
Don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
So you believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
I'm 6'4", only about what? 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year, and I'm black at that. If you add that on,
a smaller percentage of the world is over 6'6". Like, does that automatically make you a good person to be with? How many kids she got? She got 2 white kids. He got his own kid that look like she look black. And then I'm assuming they had one together. You've got to be shitting me. And again, it's nothing wrong with dating a single mom. These motherfuckers is the ones that make it an issue. They the ones that say it's so bad. They the ones that think it's low quality or they're low quality. They're the ones that say that they're used goods. So live by your fucking standards, bro. And if you know that you're doing the opposite, why are you on the internet purporting something else? That's ridiculous.
That's why he said that. That's why he talked the way he talked. That's why. That's why he thinks he's a top tier man, because he's 6'4". And black.
6'4".
This is why. He's the trinket. He's the fetish. But this is the dude that y'all follow, fellas. This is the rhetoric that y'all subscribe to.
And you know what's crazy? If they actually wanted men to be happier and live better lives, you would just be honest with them about what it's like to date and what you should and shouldn't look for. Not just exile women for solely having a kid or anything of the sort. Like, there's other things that's way more important than a woman having a kid or not, and if you should date them. It can be important, especially if you don't have kids and you're younger. If you don't have kids and you're a younger guy, That should be higher up on your list. But when you're in your mid to late 30s and shit like that, and you have a kid, you can't just be like, fuck women with kids. That's just ridiculous. It's absurd. If you want to be happy, that's ridiculous.
From Hypocrites. A black man playing stepdaddy to some white kids.
The way this
and I don't know his stance on race. I don't give a fuck about race with dating and shit. So like I would hope he's not out here talking about to be honest, knowing these red pill guys, they tend to prioritize white women or non-black women, I should say. They tend to treat non-black women as if they're better than black women, which is fucking annoying, which kind of is fucked up if he put that higher than her being a mother. These people is ridiculous, bro.
So I'm not familiar with this cinematic universe. So I decided to look up a couple of this dude's clips, and it's just him ragging on single moms all day long and how they're not wifey material.
So if you are a single mother,
there you
single
go.
mothers normally don't have good character, generally speaking, because they chose the wrong man, meaning that they normally broke up the relationship. Single moms show the worst characteristic traits, to be honest. No, what single mothers show is that you're
See, how do you say all this knowing you're with one? Whether this was before or after. Because if this was before he got with that woman, you should come out and say, like, you guys, I ended up with a single mom. Be transparent with your fucking audience. You can't have clips like this out and then turn around and date a single mom and just be regular like, yeah, fuck single moms. What the fuck, bro?
selfish because you prioritize yourself over the kid. If you prioritize the kid, you would have worked through thick and thin to keep that relationship with the father.
A man.
What type of stupid shit is that? You see, like, I just, like, and that's why they get niggas this, like, probably between, like, 16 and 23. Because that mentality is crazy. So I had a kid with a man, most likely, I'm not going to say all the time, but there's a good chance that if she went through with having a kid, he wanted it, or they had expectations to never break up. And then whatever the fuck happens in life, people break up. But staying with somebody solely for a kid is not a recipe for a prosperous relationship at all. If anything, you're going to damage both of y'all as individuals and that child. So you talking about if you care about the kid, if you care about the kid, you don't stay in a relationship for the damn kid solely for the kid. That makes absolutely no sense. You both be present in their life, and they'll probably be way better off in life if you stay in their life.
And a black man playing stepdaddy to some white kids with a single mother who was a BBL Becky. Mind you, getting her knocked up because she's currently pregnant, not even married to her. They've been together since 2017 and has yet to put a ring on her finger.
Damn. I'm sure this man is at least 30. 7 years with a woman. She got kids. You got a kid. What are you doing? What are you doing? He called BBL Becky. That don't like a BBL. When you've been waiting for it and think everything is a proposal, no fugazi. Oh, so I'm assuming they put. So he has a TikTok. I wonder if his audience. I'm sure his audience knew about his TikTok though. If he got an audience, a big audience, because this podcast is relatively big. I'm sure. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think it's pretty big. So he has a big podcast. I'm sure they're on his TikTok, but it looks like they have maybe they don't know about this one, but if you put in Cooley, I would show you Cooley and Sarah. He got a TikTok with her.
So Christmas is around the corner, and since we got a little mixed baby here, we're gonna see which Santa he chooses. We got a black Santa,
And I have the white ones.
and let's see which one he chooses. Same time, don't cheat.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Which one are you gonna pick?
Like all the
Bro, that was. I'm sure that I can't say. I don't know. But I just never would ever think that a mixed race couple would do some shit like that. I don't know, but I don't know what they do, but maybe some people think that shit is cute. That was just the weirdest shit I've ever seen. That's cringe. I do wonder though, like, you know, having black kids, it'd be like, we do like, if it's a black option, we'll get the black Barbie. We'll get the clothes with the black girls. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, I guess, but when you mix, I guess it's different. But I would think that if a white person's with a black person, they probably don't give a fuck if they get black shit. Because if you want to be with a black person, you know what they dealing with, and you better off just getting them black shit. You feel me? Because they know that they ain't got no problem being represented. So I would think that white people don't give a fuck about shit like this. That's probably just for content. Regardless, that was just weird as fuck.
Boxes were checked. Cringy interracial couple content. She's begging to be proposed to. She's a single mother. All of these things that he tells you in clips like this.
That's funny.
As a single mother, do you believe you deserve a man in the top percentile?
I'm able to do everything else, whether or not I have a
But and then that whole top percentile thing, like, these men thrive off of like this ideal version of real life where everybody is like, if I can't get the actual epitome of everything perfect that I want in life, then nothing is sufficient. And nobody lives their life like that. You know, we all want to, everybody, if they had the choice, would be like, I want to be a billionaire or a trillionaire. But that don't mean you're unhappy in your life because you don't have that. Every man would love their woman to have some fucking nice ass titties, a fat ass, to be the prettiest thing to walk on heaven and earth. But that's not how real life works. And that doesn't mean you're unhappy or unsatisfied or you don't think you love your woman or don't think she's beautiful or anything of the sort. Like, you can't, if we could all sculpt a person, we would do it, but we can't. And that's absolutely no way to live your life, because you know why? Even when you're this rich and you have this much money, them motherfuckers still don't be happy all the time. They still cheat, whether the person looks better or worse than them. That's not how life is. You don't just be like, if I can't have a perfect thing, then nothing else matters. Like, this is fucking ridiculous.
baby.
Talking about the top 10% or 1%, whatever the fuck. If a woman got kids, she gonna want what she want. If the best thing she could ever fathom comes across her table, she probably gonna take it. Like, and that don't necessarily have to be the 10%. If she's happy, she's fucking happy.
You can be a great wife.
Yeah, listen, single moms, recreational use only.
That's crazy. And you with one and had a kid with one.
No, keep it going. Keep it rolling.
That's crazy.
Keep it
That's
fucking
crazy.
rolling.
Looks like you're
crazy.
doing more than recreational use with her, buddy.
Damn, he got matching pajamas with the other kids too?
Looks like you're doing more than...
Again, y'all, it's nothing wrong with this. I don't give a fuck. But he talks shit about it. He talks shit about it. And again, you if you want to guide younger men, like, don't date a single mom, you know what I'm saying? Stay within your age range. Any of that type of shit, cool. But you're not giving that preface with what you're saying. You're just shitting on single moms. You're probably in your 30s and it's okay and nobody gives a fuck. But you're talking like these women are the scum, and then she just like, come on, bro. Like, you regular. You okay with him doing shit like that?
In recreational use with her, buddy.
You got matching pajamas with the kids too.
Talking about being with someone as recreational, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, it's not crazy because that's what these guys talk about all the time. Hold up, that's what that Donovan Sharp used to say. That's not even his line. That's a Donovan Sharp line.
Sure. Almost all these guys is full of shit. Donovan Sharp, don't give a single mothers. Don't give a single mothers. He gets with a single mother. And Myron, don't pay for sex on a fucking sugar daddy site. Fresh, don't fuck these hoes. Fresh is just a big ball of fuck up. So that's that. Rollo Tomasi, always talking about women ain't shit. Don't do this, blah, blah, blah. The man been married 20 plus years. He doesn't do anything to promote men to get married. Been married most of his adult life. If I could be wrong, but he's been married for quite some time, but doesn't do anything to try to promote marriage, but talks about relationships and damn near always shitting on women. It's fucking absurd, bro.
This is all that same red pill shit.
I was a single mom. And yes, listen, I know single moms are bad and this and that and the other, but we all got to start somewhere. Don't commit to them.
To me, it's just the audacity of
Same
people.
Shit. Same
like,
shit.
You know what? You want to have this goofy ideology? That's fine. Go live that life. But you're not even living it. And you broadcast the fact that you're not living it. They're all scammers. If they're not all scammers, it's like a coin flip. Actually, that's not even true because I'm being generous by saying it's 50-50. The odds are even lower than that. It's like skydiving without a parachute. You're probably gonna land on a scammer. I got no words. I got no words.
You gonna land on a scammer.
You got no.
It's the audacity. I don't know how these people live with themselves. I don't know how they scam. But more importantly, I don't know how y'all keep falling for it. Y'all be up in these comments being like, ooh, woo, ooh, woo.
I love you so much, Cooley. Your delivery is classy, logical, straight to the point. I love how you hold those females accountable with their weight. Being a single mom, cheating to Cooley and other men. Be careful with sexual involvement. Response, single moms, they might try to trap any of you guys.
Ooh, woo, king.
I like Cooley's approach. He holds them accountable without disrespect. Still, these women become triggered and argumentative. This proves that what KS said for years was correct.
Meanwhile, he going to uwu with his single mom. And then he telling you and shaming you for... I feel like red pillars date single moms more than the average person. It's actually mind-blowing.
Hey, probably like, if you want to do it like by rates, not actual physical people, but at rates... the red pill guys probably date single moms more than like regular guys. That is funny. That is funny. Are y'all like asking the men to like not date them so they for y'all at this point? Because what the fuck?
To me, for a movement that yells and moans about single moms as much, that so many of them date these women, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just crazy how at this point, anytime someone will tell me don't date single moms, I'm like, how many kids are you a stepdaddy to? That's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna start thinking. How do you look yourself in the mirror? How do you go home to your family? How do you go home to your girl? No one you say, is it just a check you give her? Like, hey bitch, I talk shit about you. Here's your payout. Like, why? It costs you nothing not to do this. Right, you could probably still make a bunch of red pill points and not say this goofy ass shit. You know what I think it is?
Minutes ago.
I don't think these kinds of guys can actually get the women that they want. So they go for women who are having a little bit more of a difficult situation or willing to accept more things. Why? Because, like, listen, for some single moms out there, not all, but some, they're willing to accept a little bit more. Why? Because they want that companionship. Because people do judge them for having children.
Their standards are lower.
If this BBL Becky didn't have no kid,
they keep calling her BBL Becky, and from what I saw, it looked like she didn't have no BBL. Buying our baby everything he touches him a no, so
she wouldn't be with him.
You think so?
Why else would he get with a BBL Becky with kids if he could get another one? Why would he go in contravention with his own ideology if he could get the same type of girl without kids? So they talk about, I make six figures, this and that. I'm over this height, this and that. But then you still end up with the single mom that you be yelling about. I don't even believe you can get what you want. Your whole business model is predicated on the ability of you knowing the truth and you being able to get what you want. But you don't. Why do you think these guys go either for single moms, 18-year-olds, or fobs, fresh off the boat? Or they trying to import? You notice a pattern between all three of these? Mm-hmm. What is it?
There's a standards that are lower, either because they don't have the connection or they don't know better, or because their standards are lower because they know that they got a baggage that is right there.
Right. All of these people are more malleable, more easily controlled. That's perfect for dudes like these who got these insecurities, who are not good with themselves. That's why these guys go for it. Now that I'm thinking about the psyche, it actually makes sense that they go for single mom. They go for the most vulnerable.
The problem that I have with that is, why you trash though?
Yeah, it's just like, just shut the fuck up about single moms and single parents. Like, if you want to not date them, fine. But shut the fuck up about them if you're going to turn around and date them yourself. What type of sense do that make?
It's the trashing part. That you go for whatever. I don't care.
That's money. That's the ideology. You want to make money off the scam, you got to say the right things. Did you not know?
But can't you still like make the money and not like shit on single parents and then date them? Like, I think everything that they say would still fly with a lot of their audience. But it's like the shitting on the single parents part, I just can't, I don't get it. I don't get that part. You don't even, everything that they say will probably work, but if they mention single moms, it should just be like, you know, be honest, like judge them by how they treat their kids or how they treat you, or especially if you don't have kids, like you really should tread lightly because, you know, you may not be ready for that. You may not want to deal with that. But if you have kids, like, you can be more open to single moms if you have kids yourself. If you don't have them, it's understandable. It's, you know, but...
Notice all the Redpill guys have a bunch of girls. They always say 18, 17.
Yeah.
Barely legal.
There's a problem with that, yeah.
Yeah. What do they talk about the imports? They're submissive. They do as they're told. That's the trend. So at first it didn't make sense for me why they went for the single moms, but now it actually does. The reason why is they feel like they're going to fall in that category. They're the most malleable. In observing them when I can't understand why, because remember what I said when I said they're more likely than the regular dudes? It's like, why would that be? And then I thought about it. It's like, wait, regular dudes are not necessarily looking to control women. They're not looking to do all this other stuff. Or what was the other one? OnlyFans models.
OnlyFans model, yeah.
Why do they go for those two?
Because the normal guy is not going to go for them because of what they do. So they kind of lower their expectancy. They lower their standards because they know, like people that do porn as well, they lower their standards because nobody's really gonna.
Okay, it seemed like they just finna rock out for a minute. So let's get into Cooley's response to them and apparently O'Shea Duke Jackson as well.
This is your last chance. After this, there's no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and you believe whatever you want. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I'll show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
God damn. Come on, bro.
I know you like that, right? So there's a few things that we're going to get into tonight. It's been a lot of noise in these streets, and we're going to explain and expose all the misinformation and propaganda that these reaction channels is doing.
Misinformation and propaganda. Those is not the words. Why can't you just say drama farming? Drama farming would be a much better word. Misinformation and propaganda is crazy.
About Cooley and no Fugazi. So let's get down.
Because you said you shitted on single moms and you're dating one. That's not misinformation. Propaganda? If anything, you're the propagandist.
The business. One of my tenets are manipulation happens when you focus on the effects instead of going to the root, the cause of things. And many viewers out there have been manipulated by watching these reaction channels from these big platforms.
Can we say you're manipulating people too by lying to them about your lifestyle and what real life dating is like?
So now let's actually go to the root of how this all actually started. So now I'm going to play clip number 1, where they edited things out to make it seem like I said I was a top tier man. One day women just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
You believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
I'm 6'4", only about what? 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year. And I'm black at that if you add that on. So just if we're speaking about those figures, the things that women are attracted to, no, I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math.
Hold on, before we go, what's your math saying?
A top tier man is also a man that is extremely desirable by way of his character. A top tier man is a man who displays a certain level of intellect that allows him to consider other people. A top tier man, they lead with love, not with dictatorship.
All right, so you just got finished with that clip, and that was the edited version of the clip. So here's the full version of the clip, right?
I was like, what?
Let's go ahead and play that. That is the truth.
Okay, so since
I don't care about going broke or none of that.
So since you believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
By what standard? Well, when I'm in a relationship, I'm not speaking about myself, but
when I'm in a relationship, I'm not speaking about myself, but
as you can see,
wait, I don't know what that. What the fuck do he think that meant? Even if you're not in a relationship and you're not speaking about yourself, if I'm literally not talking about myself because I'm in a relationship, I'm married, not just a relationship, I'm married. So if I'm not talking about myself, I'm not still gonna just name shit that's actually irrelevant to women. Like, y'all wanna pretend like all women are out here just caring about the physical and the monetary value of men, and that's not all women. I would argue it's not most women. Do they exist? Absolutely. But I don't think that women just out here only focused on how much money you make and how you look. That's not most important to most women. So if I'm not going to talk about what women is probably what women are looking for in men in general, I wouldn't name any of the things you just said. Because women will make concessions for a good person that has the things that she named, I would argue, versus if he's just not as tall as the next guy. If he don't make as much money as the next guy. Of course they don't want a nigga that's broke. Of course they don't want, in general, a nigga that's like 4'3". Like, those are the extreme ends of the spectrum. But women will date a guy that makes $80,000 and that's fucking 5'7". They will date him. Like, stop. Those men don't struggle with women if they have other parts of their life in order. They're fine.
Seeing that clip, I never said I was a top tier man. As you can also see in
it don't matter. You think that that's a top tier man. You think it. That's the problem.
That clip.
And you're telling your audience that.
The woman, she spoke about values. I spoke about tiers. I spoke about the prerequisites, the things that a man has to meet before a woman even gives him a chance.
That's not true either, though. You fucking idiot. That's not true.
So, generally speaking, women are attracted to height, income, and race.
Wait.
So, generally speaking, women are attracted to height, income, and race.
Those are all pluses. Those things are bonuses. Those aren't the primary picking. Those aren't the primary basis of how you choose. Those are pluses. When we get a woman with a fat ass, that's a plus. But I'm not dating somebody because she ain't got a fat ass. She got some fat ass titties, that's a plus. I am not only dating you because you got some fat ass titties. If you pretty as hell, well, you got to be pretty. There is a base. He didn't even mention just being attractive. You do got to be a base level attractive for somebody to even entertain you for the most part. Some people will say they don't. I think most people want a base level of attraction. You can't just be repulsed by the person as wholly. So you base level attractive, and then all this other shit you start to bring into the factor. Women aren't just only dating you because you're tall or because you make 100K. Like, this is not real life.
That's to get the man in the door.
Those are the women you don't want. The women that value your height, your race, and your money. You don't want them. You don't want that woman to take seriously.
And his character and his personality and him being a virtuous individual, that comes after the man meets the woman's prerequisites.
No. And the only prerequisite for all that is base level attraction, which it encompasses height and shit. It can. Some women may not want a guy that's super short, but once you're past that, you just got to work on who you are. And that's not nothing you have any control over, so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I've had girls turn me down in the past, like, you too skinny for me, and then turn around later on in life like, I wish I never did that to you. Like, I've had shit like that happen to me. Yes, there's a base level attraction. So that's... But you can't pretend like that's disqualifying. You're not disqualified because you're under 6 feet. You're not disqualified by a lot of women just because of your height. You're not disqualified because you don't make $100,000. So don't act like those are the things that'll get you in the door. Those are pluses.
So what that woman just stated was manipulation. She spoke about the effects. I actually spoke about the cause. I went to the root of it. So think about it. If a woman actually did meet a man and he embodied all of those values that woman stated, but he was 5'2" and broke, she wouldn't give him a chance. And
again, extremes. Most men aren't 5'2", and most men aren't just flat out broke. I don't know about that. I'm being funny, but people aren't just flat out broke trying to date. Flat out, like in general, I don't think people is like trying to seriously date and just flat out broke. And most men aren't 5'2". Obviously, but you're saying the height thing, first of all, you have absolutely no control over. So if a woman likes you and if you are 5'2" and a woman likes you, you already, everything else is just you working on who you are. You have to take control of what you can take control over. Money is a thing that changes over time as well. You can be rich one day and poor the next, and vice versa. So the money thing can change. That's why it shouldn't be a factor. But you would hope that person, who they are as an individual, doesn't in any dramatic sense. That's why that's more important, bro. It don't make sense for you to act like because a nigga is 5'2", there's no hope, because we know that that's not true, and who he is matters more than his height. And if the woman was okay with his height, all he had to do was be a good person after that. That's why you need to work on niggas being good people, not fucking height and money and shit.
Most women wouldn't either. Now, since you just watched that clip and you got the truth, now let's get into the next lie that they told.
That's why he thinks he's a top tier man, because he's 6'4" and black. This is why. He's the trinket. He's the fetish. But this is the dude that y'all follow, fellas. This is the rhetoric that y'all subscribe to from hypocrites. A black man playing stepdaddy to some white kids with a single mother who was a BBL Becky.
One, chick does not have a BBL.
Well, I was right about that. I was right about that. I'm like, she got no BBL, and I find it hilarious. I mean, I guess he got to address it because it's not true and it's going to help him look credible. But you think that's a bomb drop? That is the least relevant part of this whole situation for you to make it a bomb drop. You should have put that last.
I'm saying BBL Becky.
Because now you're running defense for the most irrelevant part of this, and people might tune out.
Yeah, funny. So as you all just witnessed in that clip, it shows that, oh, well, Cooley is saying these things about not dating a single mom, but he's actually dating one. So hypocritical. Well, let's actually play some clips where I always speak about these things on my podcast, and I've never lied about my life. And I have almost 2 million followers on TikTok where it shows my personal life. So how can they be?
That's what I said. I was like, well, if he has a TikTok with her, there's no way that his fan base doesn't know about this. That's true. I said that because I'm like, if he got TikTok with her, it can't be that much of a
exposing
secret.
Anything when I put this out there for the world to see. And I've spoke about these things many times on my podcast. You're in the 18 percentile like myself. I have full custody of my kid, right?
Okay.
Difference between me and you is I met my girl when we got together when we were 25. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yes, we both had children. So we came into the relationship with children, but I was young and she was young.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So I didn't have to build on anything. We were kind of just young together, figuring things out. Okay. So now you just heard that clip.
Okay.
Where you got the truth now. Now let's get into another clip where I actually tell men that don't have any kids not to date single moms. Men that do have kids that have full custody of their kids, that's an exception to the rule if you have full custody of your kids, because only 18% of fathers win custody battles. So you're in the exception, man. And when you have full custody of your kid, women that don't have kids necessarily don't understand the obligations that it takes when having kids. So if you can find a woman that doesn't have kids that does understand the obligations, that's a great thing. But if you can't, then there's a higher probability that a woman that has kids, she can understand those obligations. But there's many red flags that those single moms be having. So still try to avoid them. But if you can find one that doesn't have all of those red flags, but you have a kid, maybe it's not a bad idea. But still, it's nonsensical to even say, because generally speaking, most of them do. I just happen to be the exception to the rule, and my girl happens to be the exception to the rule. With that being said, I still recommend you guys stay away from single moms. The man has bigger stake if he chooses to.
I just think you should be more clear with your words. I don't have a problem with you. Excuse me, dating a single mom, even though you shit on him, which is fucking weird. I would never do that. But it don't seem like you're clear with your words. With that little clip you just showed, but maybe this will clear it up.
Date a single mother and take her seriously because she comes with kids. Now, a man that has kids and a woman that has kids, okay, that's a mixed family. It's like, okay, y'all both coming in with baggage. But a man that doesn't have no kids shouldn't look a single mom's way. So there has been no lies.
So that's fair. I don't know what the rest of that conversation entailed, but it's if he's not making a direct connection to his life, considering it's on the open, I feel like that should be clear within that context of that type of conversation. I feel like you should be like, I'm with a woman with kids. I got kids. So you know what I'm saying? This is what I think makes the most sense for men with kids and my age and woo up the bam. But otherwise, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? It feels like it's a secret, but I can't say it's a secret because he has a TikTok with her.
Nothing has been exposed. I've always talked about this stuff on my full panel podcast with women and on my debate shows when I have men on. So a hypocrite is someone that tells someone, I don't do this. That ain't me. I don't stand for this. But then they go head out and do it. That's what a hypocrite is. Just want to let y'all know. That is true. We can all agree to that. So
no. A hypocrite is somebody that morally condemns others for actions that they are engaging in. It's not somebody that just does something they tell other people not to do. You just simply, like, if you smoke and you tell other people not to smoke, you're not a hypocrite. You're just giving them advice for something that you fell victim for and you don't want them to follow your path. And this is a big misconception, y'all. Doing something you tell other people not to do does not make you a hypocrite. The moral condemnation of others that do the condemnation of others and you engage in that activity is the hypocritical part of it. You can't morally be looking back down at people and saying, oh, how dare you smoke? Do you know what it does to your lungs? You will never, or if you're religious and you'll go to hell, and you know what I'm saying? That's just absolutely abhorrent and bad behavior. It's going to harm you and your children. You may pass it on to a child that you have in your wife's stomach, and all this shit where it's a moral issue that you're condemning them for because the behavior is abhorrent and you think less of it, and then you engage in it. That's hypocritical. If you be like, if you are alcoholic, or even if you like to drink, and then you see a 19-year-old that has time to change their ways, and you be like, don't try, you know what I'm saying? Maybe just try not to engage too much in drinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like how I am as a drinker, and I don't want you to go down the path I went. That's not hypocritical. You're just telling somebody to learn from your mistakes. That's not hypocritical.
So all of these podcasts is making reactions to me. They saying that I'm hypocritical because they think that, oh, here's another red pill guy making talking points like all of these other podcasts. So he must view himself as like a bachelor and this high value guy, where if you watch No Fugazi, I'm not a bachelor. I'm a father. So my values and everything that I embody is much.
Well, you did just put words in their mouth. I don't think anybody called you a bachelor. So it's not about, if you was in a relationship, they wouldn't say nothing. It's the fact that you shit on baby mothers and you whip one. It's not about being a bachelor.
Different from these other type of red pill podcasts that y'all watch. Y'all just new people coming in right now, just talking a whole lot. So it's like having an essay on a book that's 20 chapters and you only read 4 of the chapters, and then you make a conclusion off the book based off of those 4 chapters that you read. So a lot of people in the comments and stuff like that currently right now is like, oh, no, he's just trying to cover up. No, bro, you don't watch my content. As you've seen, I lost no subscribers. My Instagram is still the same. So all of this noise and stuff like that, my true supporters are still rocking with me. Y'all just here. Y'all knew. So since
let's see. As the man said, he has not lost subscribers. He ain't lost no subs. All right. Keeping it factual. Fuck with it.
I'm going to get this work too. And actually, I am going to open it up for some of the haters because I like to debate and I'm here to roast people today. Welcome to No Fugazi Podcast. State your name. Where you from?
Oh, yeah. My name's Vontae.
Vontae.
Yes, sir. I'm originally from North Carolina, but I stay in Florida now.
Okay, word. What you here to debate? What you here to speak about?
Yeah, I'm listening to what you're saying and everything, though, but it's like, it's so weird because it's like, it's not what you preach out to your community. Like, as much as you want to sit here and say that you might have put this out to the world, to the third, everything you say to your community about.
You thought that? Okay, so maybe you didn't see the clips. When did you come into the stream?
Well, I've been into the stream.
So you seen the beginning videos where I played little clips that I spoke about, literally the same thing that I said today, I spoke about to my audience. You seen that, right?
Yeah.
So that means that, well, time out. So that means that you're a liar.
It's still contradicting yourself because it's not what you done said in your previous videos.
No, I've always said that.
Everything right now is what you're trying to prove for yourself right now.
No. True. Listen.
That's part of the issue. It's like, yes, you have this TikTok, but I'm assuming your podcast and maybe YouTube or whatever, you know, maybe Spotify, Apple Podcasts and shit. I'm assuming that's podcasts usually do better on audio versus video. Usually, I ain't gonna say always. I don't know their platform to know which is bigger, but typically podcasts do better on audio than visual. So even if that's the case, even if it is YouTube, I don't even assume that most of them people is on your TikTok necessarily, because not always people that consume long form content care about your short form content. Usually it's one or the other. If you consume somebody's short form, if they have long, you probably don't tune into it, depending on, you know, if you're not in love with the person, top it down. So it is a difference. And dude sound like I don't know. He might, but he sound like I said, the messages don't seem to connect. Even with the little clips he showed of him acting like when he's talking about him being in a relationship and how he says he just recommends men without kids to not date single women. It don't come off that way. If that was the case, he should have took more time to present more clips of him talking about that, because he only showed about 2 versus everybody else that's been clipping him up has showed at least 4 different occasions where he's talking about not dating single women and single moms and shit like that.
Listen, Tro, when you watch the videos in the beginning of this live stream, I play clips, not from now. I play clips from previous podcasts, right? Where I said exactly what I'm saying now, meaning that I didn't lie. I've always been truthful about my personal life. My personal life has almost 2 million TikTok followers, right? So you just said that, well, you haven't said this stuff before, but you are now saying it.
And TikTok followers are very in the win people. People will follow you on TikTok and they don't care shit about your podcast or listen to it or go to it. Especially if you have 2 million. Because when we just looked at the Social Blade, I don't think he has 2 million subs on YouTube. But TikTok followers, yeah, they see it, but they probably don't know shit about No Fugazi. They just know you're in your relationship and that's what they want to see. They probably don't give a fuck about your podcast.
This is why it's hypocritical. I'm telling you that you're a liar.
How am I lying? I'm telling you what you're coming at your mouth saying stuff about, single mothers and stuff like that. This stuff at your own mouth. Regardless of what it is, but your personal life doesn't match what you're preaching out to the world. I'm confused.
It don't match.
Oh, okay,
even if you made 1 or 2 comments about your personal life, the message of who you are as an entirety, I don't know. But it seems like if he's a part of that tonight's conversation shit, I already know what type of time he on. So if your persona is about shitting on single moms and high value men and shit, and you think that it's about height, race, and money, we know what type of time you on, and that don't match the lifestyle you're living. Regardless of if you've been open about it, it don't match, and that's the problem. I don't really care even if you talked about that shit maybe once every episode. What you're saying doesn't match how you're living, and that's a problem to a lot of people that tune into you to get life advice about dating.
You're saying, so your
personal life is not what you're telling everybody else out here to do.
That's what you think. Got it. Cool.
That's
so you just said something that, what you preach out of your mouth is hypocritical to your own personal life, right? So when someone is giving advice or telling someone what's best to do, should they speak about that in the general, or should they speak about it anecdotally? Maybe you may not understand.
It depends. You're not if you would have showed clips of you being more specific, I would understand. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you are really young, like I did earlier in this video, if you're a younger guy, you know what I'm saying? You in your early 20s, teenager, even mid 20s, and you don't have any kids, you probably shouldn't entertain women with kids too much. But for men that's really trying to get married and settle down, if you know you in your 30s to mid 30s and up, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's best that you shut off single moms, you know what I'm saying? Because especially if you have a kid, you know, whether you do or don't, you know, that's personal. But if you do have a kid, you definitely shouldn't be shutting off single moms, you know what I'm saying? Because they can understand what you're going through. Y'all can empathize with each other. Y'all can lean on one another because y'all both probably need help. Woo. All this other shit. That's real advice. And that pertains to you. But if you want to talk about, I can give advice about mistakes I've made in my life. For sure, but you will never catch me talking in a fashion that seems contradictory to what I'm saying. You literally sat up there saying single moms, they have bad judgment and all this shit, just shitting on them like they bad people. Meanwhile, you sleeping with one. You can't walk that, like, you can't walk back on that as if people not gonna have a problem with it. Though it's the way you're talking about it. It ain't that you're giving advice to people that's the general. That's fine. You could give general advice that's not applicable to you. But the way you're speaking on it was bullshit. And if you had better proof to back it up, you would have showed it. Because nothing you showed that you was just so great at speaking to the general while you're living a life that's exceptional.
And what I'm saying, say if you have a son, right? For example,
yes,
and
I would tell my son to not actively seek a single mom. But if he ends up with one, I'm not going to tell him he's a shitty person for it. So this finna be, yes, you would tell your single son, your young, single, childless son to enact different behaviors than you. But that's not the way you articulate your points.
Son, it'd be best that you don't talk to a girl that's dancing on a stripper pole. And then let's say that the son's mother, she was a stripper. Would that be hypocritical for the father to tell his son what's best to do? Yes or no?
It depends on how you say it. That's what it depends on. And honestly, that was a very bad example because again, it's about how you do it. It's about how you do it. Yeah, I ended up with a stripper son, you know, but my wife is the exception. She was literally trying to get through college. She's never slept with anybody. I've never met any of her customers that said that she slept with them or even touched them in a way that's beyond what her job is and blah, 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 blah. All that, maybe. But I would tell you to not do that. The way you was talking on them clips, even the ones you posted, didn't give off the impression that you was living opposite of what the fuck you was saying. Because saying you was in a relationship didn't mean shit because you didn't say she was a single mom. And then when you said, I'm not talking about myself, that didn't mean shit.
It wouldn't be. I mean, he's doing this. He's telling him something that he, from his experience, that he messed up, right? So
would it be hypocritical? Yes or no?
What? No, it won't be hypocritical.
Okay, so stop it there, True. Stop it there, True. True, just listen. We're gonna walk through the logic because we're gonna walk through the logic, okay?
Right.
Let's just walk through the logic, man. Okay, cool. So it wouldn't be hypocritical for a father to tell his son not to do something if he just did it because he wants to advise. Anytime you're giving advice, you want to tell someone what's best to do. So you agree to that. So he's given advice, general advice to his son, but most of those women he should avoid because most of them are whores. Your camera went off, bro. What happened? So you just proved my point. Now he just went off. So he left. I guess he ain't want to smoke. Who knows? Because he knew he was
I highly doubt that's what happened.
wrong. He knew he was wrong. Let's get some real logical thinking people in here. Welcome to No Fugazi Podcast. State your name. Where you from?
Hey, I'm Chris from Palm Beach, Florida.
All right, Chris. And you here for the smoke?
No, I don't want no smoke, Cooley, man. I was kind of swayed a little bit. I'm gonna just call out some names. I listened to O'Shea Duke Jackson for years, and I had to put some comments in his comment section because I felt like a lot of people, black people, can be racist. Let me just tell you like this. We can be racist sometimes, overly racist, and I know that's probably people will say that's not possible, but I think it is.
No, that black people can't be racist shit. I don't like that. That shit is stupid. All it's doing is you're just giving yourself an excuse to be racist. That's the only reason you would say that. I hate that shit. I hate when people say black people can't be racist. That's the goofiest shit ever.
And I think that because your old lady is Caucasian, a lot of people want to be against that. They want to say, "Oh, he with a snow bunny," and that's what I see. More people were pressed on. More, you know that they were pressed on more that she's Caucasian and she was black. I don't think it would have been too much heat, but because
I agree with that. Probably especially people like O'Shea, he gonna do that. But I personally, I don't give a fuck about people dating outside their race. I don't give a fuck.
She's white. Oh my God, he's with a white woman. We got him now. This and that.
Like I said, I don't know his content if he's ever spoke differently about black women and white women. I don't know that for a fact, but I would definitely hope he don't talk about race in a way where he demeans black women and then date a white woman, because that just makes it all look worse.
I'm like, oh my God, Dr. Umar, you know what I'm saying? I'm just being real with you because I see your clips. I'm not sure if I follow the channel or not, but I see your clips. There you go. I see your clips all over social media, and it's always good knowledge. And I've watched a couple of the podcasts and stuff like that, and everybody says, "Oh man, that dude be spitting." But with humans, people are always trying to find something to knock you down. If they might think, oh, he's 6'4", he think he all that, or he handsome, the chicks like him and stuff like that. Dudes are gonna hate on other dudes. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? So they like what you're doing. And I've heard even O'Shea say, oh, I like what he's doing, but he was shooting at you. You know what I'm saying? And I rock with him too.
So you are here to admit that you've almost been manipulated by the propaganda.
I can be honest, because if somebody that you rock with, me and O'Shea are not friends, but I followed him for years. If somebody that you rock with is saying one thing, you're going to take your brother's side, or you're going to take your.
Now, I would say I kind of got off of O'Shea's content, even though he can make it entertaining. O'Shea makes content so fast and so much. He be wrong about shit a lot, and I just decided to stop. I don't dislike what he do. I don't dislike him as a content creator, but I really have an aversion for people that lie and misrepresent things. I don't like that. I don't like people that lie and misrepresent their content, even if they're good at making content. But the frequency that O'Shea puts out content, he puts it out so fast and so much. He be missing shit and he pronounces his name wrong. He gets information wrong. Shit'll be updated, and he has enough time to figure it out, but still post it. He don't clarify when something is speculation or is not proven or a good source or anything like that. I don't like that. And because of how fast he puts out content and so frequent, I was like, I can't do this no more. If I want to get this information, I'm going to wait for somebody else to do it. Shouts out to O'Shea. I think overall he's a good content creator, and I think he has his thing that he sticks to and he does it well. But O'Shea, he misses too much for me to watch his content, and that's why I just kind of slowed up on watching him. You know what I'm saying?
The homeboy side. Yeah. So I said, let me watch a couple of videos, and I was just happened to be on YouTube tonight, and I saw this, and I said, oh, let me see what he's talking about, because I know everybody was gunning at him or whatever. Yeah. And it just seemed like it was a little bit just overly, just come on, dog. Like the dude didn't do nothing like that. So I watched some of the stuff they put on. I can be honest, one clip that somebody put up, It's from your, I guess it's your TikTok or something.
Yeah.
With the interracial dating. I think it was with your son or something like that.
Yeah,
I didn't really rock with that too much. I didn't, go crazy about it. But I was like, that's a little bit cringe. You know what I'm saying? But it's your thing. That's what y'all want to do. That's what you and your old lady want to do. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But there's always going to be somebody that has an opinion. An opinion is like an asshole. Everybody got one. You know what I'm saying? So
Fair enough,
it's just
man.
like
So,
that.
yo, man, and I would say that thank you for calling in, Chris, and being mentally strong to say, hey, this is a podcast that I always watch, and this guy's my guy, so I'm going to take it off face value what you did. But then you was also curious to say, let me check up on Cooley and get his standpoint. You listen, you seen the clips that I've always been a man of my word. I've always spoke about my personal life. I always spoke about everything. So yeah, man, I would say, Chris, bro, I appreciate you.
I didn't know anything about your personal life, and neither did I care because it's not my business. I don't watch.
There you go. Of course, this is one person. It doesn't matter that much, but he watches their podcast and doesn't know about his personal life. And that further tells that dude kind of was not fully open. Because like he said, I'm in a relationship. He didn't say I'm with a single mom or anything like that. And it's just like, that's how you know he kind of was keeping it a secret, and he probably tried to keep them audiences separate. Maybe. I don't know. But he didn't make it clear on his podcast, which is probably his bread and butter, that, because I've heard of No Fugazi. So it's probably his bread and butter, but he didn't want to intertwine those audiences because he knew that it was somewhat of a contradiction for what he was trying to do. He can game that whole lovey-dovey women. I think women are a big consumer on TikTok. Men are big consumers on YouTube. YouTube, he's probably on there talking about all this red pill men shit, don't date single mom shit, and then he's sucking up all the women that love relationships and love on TikTok, watching his interracial couple with a newborn and mixed family and shit. Like, women go eat that shit up. And YouTube is different. So I think he tried to keep it separate. I'm going to be honest. This from the little information I know. You know what I'm saying? But it's just my summation.
What is he doing? That's gay. So I can't say that word. That's,
you good.
Can't say gay.
That's not men. Men don't do stuff like that. I'm not worried about what you're doing in your personal life. I think just like the dude that
not worried about it. You just didn't know about it because good. You let his explanation sway you. That's on you, but you didn't know about it.
was on before me. Why you getting so emotional about somebody that you don't know? Like, I'm sitting here watching this dude getting crazy. I'm like, bro, calm down. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, I ain't see O'Shea do video, but is the problem that you're a walking contradiction. It's not about getting emotional.
Yeah, I feel you, man. And that's the thing. Like,
and they're somewhat in the manosphere niche, so he's gonna call out people that's fucking up his shit. So yes, he's gonna call it out. That's what he should do. You should call out people that's fucking up shit in your niche. That's what you're supposed to do.
Guy previously, he was speaking on something where he contradicted himself right then and there. He said, I put out a hypothetical. He said yes to the hypothetical. I said, my nigga, I matched the hypothetical. So what are you saying? So I'm not a hypocrite. So he tried to call me the hypocrite, but then I matched.
You didn't let him talk when he tried to rebuttal that, though.
The hypothetical. So it's like, I am not. So I guess I'm not a hypocrite. So it's people that call in, bro, that have low IQ. People that watch the channel, sometimes they got low IQ. But I want to congratulate you for, actually being able to see the truth and not being susceptible to misinformation and propaganda. Salute to you, man. And hey, don't stop watching. I would never say don't watch anyone. O'Shea funny. I ain't gonna hold you.
O'Shea has been in the game for a long time. And he's brought a lot of people on, but I still have to be. I'm like, hey, bro,
you gotta speak true.
Too much.
Yeah, you gotta be true. And I never watched his channel. Only seen a few things and stuff like that. If something maybe
I never watch his channel, but he's funny. I've seen a few things.
Very viral, but yeah, man, funny, man, and all no hate on my end. All these people that made the reactions, no hate, but it's just like you put out some propaganda, man. You weren't formally aware of exactly what actually went down. But anyways, Chris, I appreciate the call in. Have a blessed one, brother. I'm gonna see if I can get some haters in here. Have some debates.
All right, now.
Peace. We got DJ Genesis Detroit sends in $2. So why haven't you married her yet? 2016 is 2024. Low IQ people. Real men don't operate based off your standards and what you deem to be right. Marriage is something that is biblical. The laws currently don't follow the biblical standards of marriage because women
sound like a bunch of bullshit. I mean, okay. I don't judge people when they decide to get married, if they ever want to get married. That makes no difference to me. But it sounds like he just finna say a bunch of bullshit. I like, marriage is biblical. Today, that's not biblical. Like, he sounds like he just finna say some nonsense. And he could literally just save face by saying, like, me and my partner are gonna get married when the time is right for us. And that's it. He finna just say a bunch of bullshit. Let's see.
Women are incentivized to divorce a man. So when a man
you're with a woman that you think is incentivized to divorce you, because if that's not what you're dealing with, this is irrelevant.
The biblical
I would never just project what other women do onto my partner because it's a possibility. Because if that's the case, I wouldn't be with her if I think I was going to be with somebody that's going to take money from me once we get divorced. I wouldn't be with her. If I think that, why the fuck would I even date her in the first place? If marriage is on your list, if marriage is on your list of things you want to do, then you shouldn't be with somebody you think is going to do you wrong if it doesn't work out.
Standards of marriage. Because women are incentivized to divorce a man. So when a man is making a decision about things, he's going to make that decision with reason and logic, not with emotion. So, yeah. Yeah, talking silly, man.
Okay, yeah. They're talking silly. Oh, God. Y'all, again, the red pill is just actively working their way to being irrelevant. And I hate to say it, I don't want to see people not getting no money, but I do want to see people learn from their mistakes. And these guys is just ridiculous. Like, you don't have to do this. You asked for this. You didn't have to have this issue. You chose to talk shit about single mothers, and then you dated one. You could have made that clear, because this was your chance to defend your own name and your own character online, and yet you didn't even show nothing in this show where it was like, yes, I'm with a single mom. You just was like, I'm in a relationship and I'm not talking about myself as a top tier man. None of that had to do with you admitting that you're with a single mom while you shitted on single moms. And when you spoke on it, you never alluded to the fact that I'm actually with a single mom, but I'm the exception. You never did that. You said that. No, I lied. He said that with that one-on-one with that guy. He said he's in the 18%. Let me see if he actually said, like, I'm a single parent.
You're in the 18 percentile, like myself. I have full custody of my kid, right? Difference between me and you is I met my girl when we got together when we were 25. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yes, we both had children. So we came into the relationship with children, but I was young and she was young. You get what I'm saying? I didn't have to build on anything. We were kind of just young together, figuring things out.
And that's fair enough. He admitted to being with somebody with a child. Fair enough. But, you know, these niggas gonna do what they want to do until the money dries up, and then they gonna just switch to another grift. I think we can't deny that it's a grift at this point, but nonetheless, y'all already know what it is. If you made it to this point in the video, make sure you leave a like, comment, sub. If not one, then all three. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Peace.